Hello, welcome to the Fifth Star. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Albert.
Today we're going to be ranking all of our Oscar predictions. So, buckle up.
Okay, so the Oscars are coming really soon. We're finally here, March 2nd on Sunday. So we'll be posting this episode the Monday before. And so we're gonna go through giving our predictions. And we're gonna start with Best Picture because that's what we ultimately all care about. Now, Best Picture is interesting because all the other categories, basically, they just do highest vote wins. But Best Picture, they go through this really complicated kind of preferential ranking vote. And then it's actually like really detailed about, the lowest one gets taken off and then the points get redistributed until a top film gets over 50% of the vote is how it wins. Okay. But we're going to do like a simplified version of that.
Right.
So I thought that we'll both give the order of how we would rank our ballots.
Okay.
And for me, like having seen all of them, I'm going to just go purely based off preference, not what I think the Academy is going to do. And then we'll give...
I'm going to go based off of what I think the Academy is going to do.
Yeah. For me, my least favorite of all of these, if I was giving in a ballot, would be Emilia Perez. So Emilia Perez for me gets 1 point because it'll be last place. So what will be your...
What do I think is last place right now?
In terms of the odds of winning Best Picture.
I think the lowest likelihood, only because I haven't heard any buzz about it. This is like the opposite of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So Dune Part 2 is my favorite, but I actually think it's the least likely to win.
Yeah.
Even though out of this list, it is definitely my favorite.
Yeah. And then so I think that's probably true. Like Dune Part 2, unfortunately, it's...
I haven't heard any buzz.
Yeah. My second last would be I'm Still Here. I did get to see that. And
2 points?
Yeah. I just wasn't that into it. I mean, it was okay. It was just really slow and drawn out. So, yeah.
I really still want to see that one. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in foreign film.
Okay, the next one that I think is least likely is probably Nickel Boys because again I haven't heard like any buzz about it.
It's kind of nice it got a nomination, but
yeah,
its chances seem really slim.
Its chances seem low. Yeah.
Yeah, my third last on my ballot would be A Complete Unknown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could see a review, but yeah, it was kind of mixed about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I was actually going to go A Complete Unknown, too.
Okay.
I think A Complete Unknown is going to win in a lot of other categories.
Okay, but
I just don't think it has Best Picture quality. I don't know.
Okay, so for me, then, I would pick Nickel Boys.
Okay.
I did like Nickel Boys more than Complete Unknown. It did some kind of cool stuff visually that I thought was kind of interesting.
All right. Now I'm going to go for Emilia Perez because... Okay. I think this had all the chances in the world.
Yep.
But because of all the controversy, it's just really low. But I'm still going to stick with middle because there's maybe still a chance it'll win. I'll be shocked if it won.
Yeah.
But
at this point.
But it did win like all the other stuff before all the controversy really came out, especially about Gascon. But yeah, anyway.
The middle of my list would be Anora for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I know in actuality is one of the front runners, but
yeah,
I thought it was good, but there were other movies I liked a lot more this year from this list.
Okay, now I'm gonna say I'm Still Here.
Okay.
Again, I still really want to see it, but I don't think it has everything that it needs to be Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. So next, I would have Wicked.
Right.
Which I did really, I did like certain parts of it. It was just really drawn out.
Ooh, okay. Conclave that's so tricky because I know it won a bunch of BAFTAs, but it's also a British movie.
Mm-hmm. You also got The Substance.
So it's probably a little biased.
Wicked.
I know. I think Substance is probably going to be number 6 for me.
Yeah.
It's a little too crazy maybe to be Best Picture.
Okay, next for me would be Conclave.
We're at 6.
Mm-hmm. I really might have even had this as one of my favorites of the year if it just wasn't for the ending. Again, you can check out our review on that.
Yeah. Oh, is it Conclave or Wicked? This
that
tricky.
Kind of is that like second tier, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's like I think I'm gonna go for Wicked.
Okay.
I just Yeah. I think Conclave might be more geared towards what the
Yeah, Conclave could
Academy
be more of a best
voters.
picture
I think the Academy
than
voters would
Wicked
care more
winning.
about Conclave.
I can see that.
But Wicked would win the popular vote.
Yeah. For me, third on the ballot in terms of what I liked this year was actually The Substance.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Really, the first 2/3 of this movie I thought was a masterpiece.
Mm.
If it wasn't for the ending. But a lot of great stuff in this film to like. Yeah. So I think there will be some really hardcore Substance voter fans.
I'm sure Demi Moore is still going to win, but that's getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So next up, I think I'm going to go with Conclave. Conclave, I think, still has a chance, but I still don't think it's going to win.
My second favorite of the year from this list was actually Dune Part 2.
Oh,
So that's
such a good movie.
Yeah, that would get 8 points for me.
Sorry. Yeah. Now, the last two are dead even for me, but I'm going to go, I think Brutalist is not going to win because of the controversy.
Okay,
like
the AI controversy.
I'm not sure. Yeah, because of the AI stuff.
Yeah.
It's very possible that the voters' vote will be swayed away from that.
Mm-hmm. I actually have Brutalist as my favorite movie from this list of Best Picture nominees. I do think the AI controversy is a little bit of a problem for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I think we're pretty much agreed like Brutalist and Anora are going to be the front runners, right?
Yeah, so Anora's, I think, going to win.
Is the one that's going to win?
I think so.
I just think The Brutalist is so much more of an impressive film. It really has an epic feel. I mean, being able to sit in the theater for 3.5 hours with a 15-minute intermission break was just like a fun experience. And the fact that that movie was only made for $10 million is just mind-blowing to me.
That's crazy.
And so just the sheer artistry of what you think of as a best picture that's going to be crowned that for decades to come. I think Brutalist is that movie over Anora. Anora is a much more simpler, kind of quieter, smaller movie. It's actually not a quiet movie. It's a lot of yelling.
So Brutalist was the one I thought for sure it was in the bag.
Okay.
And it's just the AI stuff that I'm like, I don't know anymore if they're going to go for it.
Okay.
Like, I do think there is a bit of fear that another strike will happen. Maybe. Especially since the whole strike was about AI. Yeah. So Anora is the safer option. It was the front runner before Brutalist came out. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I mean, if Brutalist wins, I don't think I'm going to be surprised. Yeah. Because I do think they're pretty much dead even.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we have a few ties, but Brutalist is definitely at number 1. And then Anora and Conclave are at a tie. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's so interesting that even though I went purely based off preference, it still kind of worked out with what we're seeing and kind of reading in the tea leaves.
Yeah. Substance is third. That also kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Substance is much more of a long shot, but it's going to be a love-hate kind of thing. So in a system like this that's preferential, it's a lot harder for a movie like that to win. Yeah. And so in that sense, I think Anora has an advantage over The Brutalist. Okay, so we're going to pick and start our actual predictions. But we are going to put something on the line, okay? Yeah. So what is, Jamie, your official Oscar pick for Best Picture?
I think Anora.
Okay.
I think Anora's going to win, even though
Anora,
Brutalist is close.
Yeah, now the guilds some of the guilds that finished up, that did their awards, those can be really big predictors. And so Anora did win the Producers Guild of America. Okay. For Best Feature, so Best Theatrical. And so that is a huge win for it because a lot of those producers are going to be voting in part of the Academy. Now, back at the Golden Globes, The Brutalist and Emilia Perez won. The Critics' Choice Anora won also, and then BAFTA's Conclave won. So I'm going to go with my official pick as The Brutalist. Okay. I do think Anora probably will just edge out Brutalist with maybe the controversy. I don't know. Maybe the fact that Brutalist is 3.5 hours long. But I just think The Brutalist is a much more impressive film in terms of filmmaking. So that will be my official choice. So next, we'll go to Best Director. So for Best Director, our nominees are Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for Complete Unknown, Shaq Odiard for Emilia Perez, and Corley Farge for The Substance. So what do you think? Now, the Directors Guild did just award Sean Baker a Nora for that award for
Okay.
best director of
Director.
a theatrical film. Now, the Golden Globes, Corbet won for The Brutalist, and the BAFTAs, The Brutalist won. So,
I was gonna say Brutalist.
Brutalist.
Before you said that, I was gonna say Brutalist.
Okay, so that's your official pick.
Yeah.
I will go with Sean Baker for Nora. So
Just be different?
I think it's gonna be a split. So
Okay.
yeah, I think Brutalist might win. They're so neck and neck, these two.
Yeah.
I think usually they both match, I think, historically, but I'm gonna go the opposite, kind of spread my pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Best Actress. So you got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, which she's not gonna win.
No.
Mikey Madison for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here.
It's gonna be Demi Moore.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah,
official pick?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel pretty confident.
yeah, so pretty much, yeah, Demi's been sweeping everything. Now, Mikey Madison did win at BAFTA, but I'm gonna also go with Demi Moore.
Yeah.
She really was impressive. I thought it was a career kind of performance. Next, we have Best Actor. So, Best Actor, we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
So I really want Coleman Domingo to win, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
There's been no buzz to say that he will, but he did such a good job.
Yeah, I mean, and at the Globes,
I think Sebastian Stan might take it.
Oh, okay. So
because
he did win at the Golden Globes for the comedy musical category. But he won for A Different Man, and then Adrian Brody won at the Golden Globes, and then Critics' Choice and BAFTA.
I think it's between Adrian Brody and Sebastian Stan for me.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian Stan could be a safer choice because, again, the whole AI actors controversy. And it's like people might not give Adrian Brody all the credence because of the, accent adjustment.
Yeah.
Which isn't, I don't think that's totally fair.
Yeah, I think it's a little overblown.
It's a little over the top.
It's a very small percentage of everything. And he still did the actual work. They were just perfecting, because apparently
politically, this could be a huge disaster. If they gave it to him.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I get that. It could be enough to sway them away from that.
But then it is interesting. Sebastian Stan being nominated for playing Trump, who just won the presidency.
Yeah.
So it's a very relevant character right now, I'd say.
Now, I did see The Apprentice, and he was very good as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I thought what was really, actually, I think The Apprentice should have been in the Best Picture conversation, because I gave it like a 4.0. It was, regardless of if you are pro-Trump or not, I think the movie does a really good job of helping you understand his background and how he became the man he is. Mm-hmm. And Sebastian Stan, I mean, he really does a good job of kind of mimicking Trump and his essence, even in his mannerisms, without it feeling like a caricature.
Yeah.
So it was a very good performance. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to say him.
Okay.
Even though I'm pretty sure Adrian Brody might get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Sebastian Stan.
Okay. So I'm going to go with Adrian Brody.
Okay.
I think he's just too much of a tour de force. And even though he's won an Oscar already, I think he's been making a run through all the awards season. I think he deserves it. I think the AI thing is an issue, but
it's minimal.
I don't think it's enough to not give it to him.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so for our Best Supporting Actress, we have Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. And as we know, Zoe Saldana has been owning everything. So Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, BAFTAs. For the SAG Female Supporting that's coming up, everyone's been nominated except for Felicity Jones and Isabella Rossellini.
I think Zoe's going to take it again.
Okay.
Like, even with all the controversy, like, she's kind of stayed out of it. She just felt like the clearest winner.
Yeah.
But I know there are people who think Ariana Grande might get it, which she did do an amazing job. Mm-hmm. But again, how often do actors get Oscars for comedic roles? Very few times.
That's
very
true.
few times.
It's usually drama, famous drama. I do think Zoe Saldana is going to win, but I'm going to go Ariana Grande.
Okay.
Because this is the way I see it, right? Among the three SAG overlapping nominees, you have Monica Barbaro, Ariana Grande and Zoe Saldana, they're all musical
Musical.
performances. And I think of the three, in terms of acting and music, Zoe was the weakest of the three. I think
I think
Ariana
she
Grande,
still was a really good actress.
I mean, she was okay. Maybe it's because I generally thought her character was pointless in the whole movie.
Yeah. But
But
her acting was so good.
Monica Barbaro didn't even know how to sing.
Right.
And what she was sounded amazing. Her
Yeah.
performance was fantastic, and her acting was great. And then Ariana Grande was amazing just in everything, like
Right.
the acting, the comedic timing, the singing, dancing. I mean, it was just a whole package. Like, even though I was not the biggest like Wicked stan, like Ariana
She
Grande
did
was
really
the
good.
highlight. Yeah, I enjoyed every part she was in the movie. I think this would be such a feel, like if Zoe gets it, and the whole ceremony might be like, oh, this is awkward. Is she gonna say
Yeah.
something weird? Which she hasn't.
Right.
But I think if Ariana Grande won, like everyone would
Yeah.
be so stoked. All the Wicked fans would be happy. So that's gonna be my pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Best Supporting Actor. And so for that we have Yuri Borisov for Honora, Kieran Culkin for Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete
Kieran
Unknown.
There's
Guy
no
Pearce for The
there's no
Brutalist,
other options. It's Kieran
and
Culkin.
Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
I would be shocked if Kieran
Okay.
Culkin didn't
He
win.
also, like Zoe Saldana, has won literally everything: Globes, Critics' Choice, BAFTAs.
And there's no controversy, so he's winning it.
Ah.
He's gonna take it.
So I do think he's gonna win. So after watching all of these performances, I actually thought that Jeremy Strong was amazing. He became this character who I didn't even know about his influence over Trump. And I mean, and you have like different tones in his performance from the beginning and end of the movie. He was so good.
Nice.
I kind of almost want to pick him as like a dark horse surprise win.
Okay.
But Kieran has just been destroying all the
Yeah.
awards. So even though I don't agree that he was the best performance, even though he was good,
You're gonna predict.
okay, I'll pick Kieran Culkin. Yeah, I just think he has too much momentum.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so next we have Best Original Screenplay. So we have Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. Now for Writers Guild, for
I think it's
original
Honora.
screenplay, Honora did win.
Okay.
But The Brutalist, September 5, and The Substance were not nominated in terms of
Interesting.
from the Oscar nominees. But Honora did win. And then for Critics' Choice, The Substance won, and for BAFTAs, A Real Pain won. So what is your pick for
I think it's Nora.
Honora?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with The Substance.
Okay.
I thought The Substance was so original in terms of the concept. Even though I didn't love the third act, I don't think that was the screenplay's fault. I think it was more the way the directing was handled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go with The Substance there. The next category, Best Adapted Screenplay. We have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilie Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. And for the Writers Guild Adapted Screenplay, Nickel Boys won, which was nominated, but Conclave, Emilie Perez, and Sing Sing were not nominated. So I don't know how much that tells us. And then Globes, Critics' Choice, and BAFTA, Conclave won all of those.
Yeah, I think it would be between Conclave and Sing Sing for me, like on a personal level.
Yeah, Sing Sing was a great script.
Because I loved the writing in Conclave too, and when I first saw it, I was like, "This is gonna win." I think I will say Conclave, just because even though I loved Sing Sing so much more,
Yeah.
I think the Academy people are gonna go for Conclave.
Yeah. So check out our episode that we just did on Sing Sing. It really was so well done.
So good.
I do want to pick that also because I think it deserves it a little more than
It's
Conclave.
better.
But I do think Conclave will win. It was really well like put together with all the ensemble characters. I didn't love the ending, but that was part of the source material, so I can't hate on the
Right.
screenplay for that.
Right.
So yeah, I'll pick Conclave also. All right, next up we have Best Animated Film, which is we got Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. Now, at the Annie Awards, which is like the big animation industry award, basically The Wild Robot won everything. Now, Flow did win Best Feature for Independent, but Wild Robot won Best Feature, I guess, among all the studio films. And then at the Globes, Flow won, Critics' Choice, Wild Robot won, and at BAFTAs, because it's British, Wallace and Gromit won.
Of course.
So, yeah, I think it's between The Wild Robot and Flow.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually think though, out of all of those,
Mhm.
Inside Out 2 had the most to say.
Interesting.
Like I think
So
Inside Out had the most. It had the most story,
mhm,
but I think Wild Robot might win,
okay.
even though I didn't really like it that much.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I've seen them all except for Memory of a Snail and Inside Out 2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I loved Flow. Like I gave it a 4.5. It was like top 3 of the year for
Oh
me.
wow.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4. I
Yeah.
really liked it
I
though.
mean, the fact that it was basically like done independently by like
Right.
the director by himself almost. And then you had like even though some of the animation was a little rough, like just the beautiful like story and how it was done all without talking. I think we've
Yeah.
said this in the past, but the Wild Robot, if it
It's what
was
we wanted.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's what we wanted Wild Robot to be, but
Mm-hmm.
then the Wild Robot became very more Disney-ish or DreamWorks-ish. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm gonna go with Flow. I just think Flow is more artistic, much more
Even though
artistic.
it's not polished.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of a passion pick. I do think the Wild Robot has the edge and it's probably gonna win because
Yeah.
it's winning all the kind of animation technical awards and stuff like that. I mean, the animation is amazing. It really is. But
Yeah.
as a story, man, the flow, there was like some moments in that where I was just in genuine wonder of like, oh my gosh, the cat. And I'm not a cat person.
Me neither. But I did care about the cat.
So I'm gonna guess that all the cat people in the academy are gonna go with Flow. Okay, so next up we have Best International Feature. We got I'm Still Here from Brazil, The Girl with the Needle from Denmark, Emile Perez from France, The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany, and then we have Flow from Latvia.
I think
So-
it's going to be I'm Still Here.
Okay, I'm still here. So the Globes, Critics' Choice, and BAFTAs, which just happened, Emile Perez won all of them. So you're still.
Wow.
So even with the controversy, somehow it continued.
Well, no, because all of the controversy came out after
they voted,
this,
maybe?
except the BAFTAs.
Okay.
The BAFTAs is the only one that happened after
Yeah.
the controversy. Yeah, I think it's I'm Still Here.
Okay. So I actually did get to watch all of these. So I'm so proud of myself for being able to like see. I usually try to see all the best pictures, but I don't always get to see all the internationals. I thought it was going to be I'm Still Here or Emile Perez, but when I watched it, I'm Still Here, it was just such a slow, like drawn out movie. Like I never emotionally got invested. So
Yeah, the academies love that.
I just don't see how people are going to really be excited about this film. And so now one interesting thing about the voting is once all the nominees are picked within the industries,
Yeah.
Anyone who's voting can vote for all the categories.
Okay.
So you can have actors and all these people voting for international feature, but for international feature, you can't vote unless you've seen all of them. So I'm gonna bank on that everyone actually sees all of these. And A Girl with the Needle was pretty interesting. It was okay, but what the Seed of the Sacred Fig was so good. So Seed of the Sacred Fig. It's this film from Iran. This director basically got exiled from his country for making films about like against the government. And so he actually had to like escape and then to Germany, get all the footage smuggled out, get the film made, go through all of this stuff to get it like out distribution and stuff like that. And he can't ever go back to his country.
Wow.
You know, and this film like deals with that, all of the kind of political stuff, the kind of women liberation kind of movement, women rights that's happening in that country, all like told within the microcosm of a family.
Wow.
I mean, it is such a good film. So I'm banking on everyone watching all 5.
Okay. It could
then
get it.
that, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be my pick. That's kind of a total
Yeah.
dark horse right there, but
It might not be. It might
yeah,
not be.
but that's my passion pick right there. Okay, so next we have Best Documentary Feature. We got Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. Now, the Producers Guild for Best Documentary was Superman, the Christopher Reeve story won, and for BAFTA, Superman won. I'm shocked that film did not
Didn't
get
get
nominated.
nominated.
I love that film. I gave it a 4.5. But since that didn't get nominated, the Directors Guild for documentary Porcelain War won. So
That's the one I want to see the most.
okay.
I mean,
I
watched all the trailers, and Porcelain War was the one I was most compelled to watch.
okay. So that might already be because if people are just watching only a few of them,
Yeah.
and then they're voting for the only one that they saw,
Okay. I'll go with that one then, I
Porcelain
guess.
War.
I haven't seen any of them, so.
So I I've seen all of them except for No Other Land and Porcelain War.
Mm.
Sugarcane was a heartbreaking story, but I didn't think the documentary was done that well.
Okay.
Black Box Diaries was really good. It was basically like the Me Too movement in Japan that was happening. It was really powerful. I don't know. I'll go with Black Box Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, for best cinematography, we have The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
Brutalist.
Okay, cinematography society hasn't done their ceremony yet, but BAFTA's The Brutalist won. So you're gonna pick The Brutalist.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the cinematography was really good in Brutalist. I have not seen Nosferatu, but that also seems like it's in the running, and it has the kind of cinematography I like very dark, kind of moody. So I'm gonna go with Nosferatu, even though I haven't seen it.
I did love the cinematography in Dune Part 2, though.
Yeah.
But
So
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
switch your
no. It's gonna. I think it's Brutalist.
Okay, Brutalist. I would love it if the Brutalist won, but I'll officially say Nosferatu. Film editing, we got Honora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. And for the BAFTA's Conclave won.
I think it's me and Nora.
I would pick The Brutalist if it wasn't that it was 3.5 hours. And I think it's hard to pick something as best editing if it's super long. But I will say
it means they didn't know what to cut.
Yeah, I will say the 3.5 hours was surprisingly fast. I was like fully engaged the whole time.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so I think that does say something about the editing. I'll pick Honora also.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, best costume design. We got
Wicked.
I'm gonna pick Wicked also. It won the Critics' Choice and BAFTA. Yeah. Okay, best production design. Yeah, The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Dune Part 2.
Okay. So for the
because of those sets. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so the Art Directors Guild did award awards for Best Fantasy Feature Film, Wicked won, Best Period, Nosferatu won, and Best Contemporary, Conclave won.
Oh.
And then Critics' Choice and BAFTA, Wicked won both of those.
I guess it's gonna be Wicked, but I'm gonna stick with Dune Part 2.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sticking with it.
Ooh, I like it.
Just cause.
Okay, I would agree with you, but I think Wicked is gonna win.
Probably.
Just because they planted 9 million tulips, which is just insane.
That is insane.
But they keep talking about the 9 million tulips that was planted. It's just like, I mean, I'm all for practical, but like, come on, this is like one time CG's okay. No one's gonna hate on you for not planting 9 million tulips.
And the rest of the movie's CG, so.
But hey, I think that's gonna get people. I mean, they did the fact that they built all those sets. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I loved the library set. Oh my gosh. Anyway, watch our review.
So, best makeup and hairstyling. We have A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, Wicked. The Substance, and Wicked.
Oh no, it's gonna be a different man. It's gonna be a different man.
Oh, like period, different. Okay, so for the makeup and hairstylist guild, Wicked won for the best period. And then Substance won for the best contemporary. And then Critics and BAFTA both gave it to The Substance.
Wow. I thought for sure it'd be Different Man.
I mean, I didn't see A Different Man, but apparently it is impressive because it kind of goes through a whole life cycle.
Yeah. I'm going to say that.
A Different Man? Okay, I'm going to go with The Substance. Apparently only 3 shots are like CG in The Substance.
Wow.
All of it was done practically, which is just mind-blowing. Having seen like what they did, it's just so gross. But the fact that was all like real fake flesh and all this stuff that they did it with, it's pretty impressive. So, okay, I'm going to say The Substance. Okay, our last couple. Best visual effects. Alien Romulus, Better Man, Doom Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked.
Doom Part 2.
The Visual Effects Society gave awards to essentially a bunch to Dune, but outstanding visual effects, kind of the top prize, went to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
And then outstanding model went to Alien Romulus for the space station. But all like the environment, CG, lighting, all that stuff went to Dune. Dune? Yeah. Yeah. I loved Alien Romulus. I thought it was really well done. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But I'm gonna pick Dune also. Best sound. We have A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2,
Dune Part 2.
Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Okay, Dune Part 2
2.
won the BAFTAs there. They haven't done the Audio Society Award yet. I'll pick Dune Part 2 also. I think it's interesting. When we talked about Wicked, like Wicked might win more technical awards than Dune.
Dune
but
looks better though.
But it seems like the costume and makeup or the hairstyle, like some of that stuff is going, or production design and costume is going to like Wicked, and then the visual effects and sound type technical stuff is going to Wicked or Dune. So yeah, I'll pick Dune also for that.
I do think like the problem with Wicked, I loved the movie and stuff, but the lighting was so flat, and they lit it flat for the CG. But then with Dune, I still thought the lighting was quite dynamic, even though there was CGI.
That's true.
Like, they did a really good job.
Now, they did film, like...
a lot of it.
Yeah, like on locations too. So that's really impressive also.
But anyway.
Okay, so our last two here. Best Original Score. We got The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. For the Society of Composers and Lyricists Award... outstanding score for a studio film went to The Wild Robot, and for an independent, it went to The Brutalist, and BAFTA gave it to The Brutalist.
I'll say Brutalist. I don't even know what that sounds like, but sure.
Yeah, so...
I have nothing to go on.
Yeah, I'll pick The Brutalist also. I mean, it opens with like an overture, like, those old films did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the score really...
The trailer
gives it that epic kind of feel.
The trailer had a beautiful sound.
So it was really good. Just the opening, the whole opening sequence, like, and the way it culminates in a Statue of Liberty shot thing, like it was just with the music, it was so good. So even if people end up just not finishing the whole movie, they might still give it points or vote. Okay, last category. Best Original Song. We have El Mal from Emilia Perez, The Journey from 688, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilia Perez, Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. The Society for Composers and Lyricists gave Best Original Song to Diane Warren, The Journey from 688, and then the Golden Globe and critics went to El Mal, Emilia Perez.
I have no idea. I don't know. The song I don't care about so much.
Yeah.
If it went to Elton John again, though, oh my word.
I don't think he's really a front runner.
Okay. I guess El Mal.
Okay. Yeah, so...
that's Zoe Saldana's song.
Yeah. I'm going to go with what the Society of Composers gave it, The Journey from 688.
Okay.
I did listen to that song, and her gives a version where she sings it.
She is really good.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing. I'm not sure in the film if it's her version or if it's I guess it's Diane Warren because that's what she's credited for. Well, it's El Mal. When you listen to it outside of the scene that Zoe Saldana is like performing, it's like it's a really hard song to listen to. It's not very like easy to listen to.
Yeah, that's fair. But, I'm just guessing it because
but
I feel like that's the trajectory.
Yeah, the scene is like really well performed by Zoe Saldana. So okay, so there you have it. Those are our picks. You guys have a few days to finish up watching things, but post your nominations or post your picks for what you would pick. Post it in the comments before the Oscars, and we can see how many of us get it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we will also try and figure out what our reward will be. Based on whoever gets closer or more points on their predictions.
Yeah,
which you'll find out next week.
Yeah, we'll reveal that in the next episode.
But you can follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Letterboxd if you want to see our movie reviews.
And so we'll see you after the Oscars next week on The Fifth Star.